Okay, so here we are back at Ask a Pro today. This is Dusty with Florida Building Inspection Group. And wow, I am like so honored today to have the two people as my guest on this show today. And one of the things that's really important to me is that we always find a way to give back to our community. And these two ladies, I think, are just rocking it. And so today I have Liette Rebeck with me, and she is the founder of We Believe with Me, and she has a race that we're going to talk about. So say hello, Liette.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Very good. And then I have, you may all recognize her face. Miss Whitney's been around a while. Whitney Boland, and she's with Signature Realty. She's your local real estate agent.
Yes. Hi, my name's Whitney Boland with the Buy with Boland team, your home sold guaranteed with Signature Realty Associates.
So thank you both for joining me. So we have some exciting stuff to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know you've been already all over the news, so I'm really honored that you would take a minute and jump on with us and, let us talk through what's going on in the community. So what is Believe with Me, Liette?
So we're a nonprofit. We started in 2015. It was just an idea to give Christmas gifts to children of fallen soldiers. I started with a few friends and my kids, and the very first Christmas, we served 168 children who'd lost a parent in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, we'll be serving close to 2,500.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So our main outreach, we always say that's kind of our expensive outreach program, is getting to know these children by having them register for Christmas through their guardians or their parents, caretakers. It's not out of charity, it's out of honor. You don't have to prove that you have need of any kind. It's just our joy and honor to remember your loved one at Christmas time and let you know that America remembers your fallen hero.
Uh-huh.
And building that relationship with them, we follow up with Valentine's Day gifts for widows, Mother's and Father's Day gifts for the parents on those respective holidays. And then what usually happens is when they have another need, they'll reach back out to us. So we do a lot of emergency financial benevolence. And now, thanks to Raymond James, some financial counseling and mentorship.
Wow, that's amazing. And it all started how? Like, what made you think that there was that need?
It's funny. It started because I met the mother of a fallen Navy SEAL. I had taken my kids to Arlington for the 70th anniversary of D-Day, which was, we just celebrated D-Day, right? We just honored D-Day, June 6th. We went up there for this. It was the 79th this year, so it was 9 years ago. Met a Marine who said, you kind of remind me of this lady. Her son was killed in action. He was a Navy SEAL. Subsequently, I met her, and she had such joy and purpose, even after this terrible loss. I mean, here her son, you raise a kid, it's one thing. But if you raise a kid to go on and do such incredible work and service to their country and then lose him, it's just like next level. And her smile was genuine, her joy, her hugs, everything was so inspiring, and especially because of such a loss, that I thought, okay, whatever she has, if I can just have like 1% of that, I just need like a little taste of that. And so at the time, I have a large family, I have a lot of kids, and one of my teenagers was really giving me a run for my money. And I thought, okay, whatever this woman has, I need more of. So I thought, well, at the time I had a Bible study that was meeting in my homes at 5:30 in the morning on Thursday mornings. And believe it or not, there were like 60 moms that would come to that every week. Mm-hmm. And one morning I said, you know what, girls, we're going to host a dinner with Gold Star moms and we're going to serve them. And so we had about 10 Gold Star moms show up, and I had no idea what I thought was really going to happen that night, but it was so palpable. The moms were so happy that someone was asking them about their sons, right? Like they weren't
Oh.
the elephant in the room anymore. Somebody was saying, "Well, tell me about Scotty. Like, what did you do when he was a terrible 15-year-old and drove you nuts? And what did you do when he got kicked out of whatever?" So that really inspired the civilian moms, and then I didn't really understand until weeks later. I got letters from mothers saying, I was considering a divorce, or I was considering leaving my husband, but then I met that Gold Star mom and I thought, gosh, if she can endure all that, surely I can work on this. So I said to my husband, I don't know
Wow.
what we just did, but we tapped into something. So we're going to start a nonprofit. And he was like, okay. So he files the paperwork, and it's funny because, you file this stuff with the IRS, it never goes away. So on our IRS paperwork, it is quite obvious we did not know what we were doing, because it says serving homeless, helping with education, something with military families. Like we didn't know what we were doing, but
Gotcha.
as usually happens, you have like a desire in your heart, and I firmly believe that God does direct your path. And so it was about October, that after maybe about 4 or 5 months after we hosted that dinner, that I came across a social media post for a widow who said, does anybody know of any groups that provide Christmas gifts for children of fallen soldiers? I'm in a tight bind. And I thought, well, that's a brilliant idea. Surely somebody does that. I'm going to go give them some money. And I looked everywhere and couldn't see it anywhere. I mean, there was
No.
like the oddball in Nebraska that was giving, 10 gift cards or something, but nothing like what I had in my head. And so I came out and told my teenagers, who at the time they were involved in a high school leadership program. And so they had to do a service project. And I said, I got an
Gotcha.
idea for your service project. And they were like, oh God, what now? And so when they said, oh, that's a great idea. They got all their friends right on board, and we were off to the races. So that was the end of October. And we, through a series of nothing but miracles, we did ship out gifts to 168 kids that year.
Amazing. And now you're serving over 2,000. I mean,
Yeah.
in 9
And
short years, holy
yeah,
smokes,
and
that's quite a
not just
growth.
like, it's not just the growth, it's also, right, the infrastructure to build it,
Correct.
because that first year it was people just sending us emails of what they wanted. We
Right.
you can't just do that for two, and you got to have your verification things, and you got to make sure that these are actually the people you're supposed to be serving. And then we used to do it where, if you were going to sponsor a kid, you would just text John Smith, I'm going to sponsor that kid, and he would disappear off our website. You may or may not send his gifts, but you would send his gifts, and then we would repackage them. Now it's, you send us, it's about $100 per child
Mm.
for the gifts. And if they say they like pink and sequins and unicorns, then she's going to get the biggest Santa sack of pink sequin unicorns you've ever seen,
Wow.
because I have some of the best shoppers that will make $100 look like 250. So it's really been an incredible work of heart. I'm really super proud of what we built. But sometimes the best part of what we do is getting to meet people like Whitney or like you, who are like, wow, that's I can pick up a piece of that puzzle.
I love that. And so from that, I guess you created this Freedom for Miler, right?
Yeah. So this, I think, will be our seventh race here in the Jupiter area in Palm Beach County.
Okay.
And our team is so great. We're never just going to do a race. Like, it's never just going to be, you're going to go out and run something. It's a real experience. So each mile is named after a fallen soldier. And
Okay.
then all along that mile, it'll tell you, Corporal Ian Zook's favorite movie was Rocky Balboa. So there's a sign there. It's got his name. And then there's a handsome young guy dressed like Rocky Balboa with the music doing the thing. And, if his favorite, candy was Swedish fish, then there's a sign telling you that. And there's kids tossing out little bags of Swedish fish. And I remember one year we had a soldier, his favorite dessert was some type of custard. I can't remember the type because it's caramel custard. And his mother was out on the course, and she had made hundreds of little tiny custards and was passing them to it was really, really touching. So it's a real experience The event is a real experience, and it's meant so that maybe the next time you go to Cracker Barrel and you see peach cobbler, you might not remember the soldier's name, but it'll jog your memory, and you'll think, man, I need to be thankful. So the idea is to just keep let you get to know these gentlemen as you run, so it's not just I did this thing for whatever. No, you remember the names. We have rules. You run the course. Every time you see their name on a sign, you have to say it out loud. You have to say their name.
Wow.
And people cross the finish line all the time, just crying. Like, I didn't realize.
Well,
I didn't
I
know.
can imagine there's got to be so much emotion throughout that day, because you're really allowing them to get to know somebody personally, who's no longer with us, who has made the ultimate sacrifice, right? So that is wow. I don't know how you put that all together, but good Lord, that
And
is
I'll tell
amazing.
you, it was very funny. The first year we did the race, literally 2 weeks before, I came up with this idea. It needs to be named, and we need to do this. And I remember my little band of volunteers was like, "What are you talking about? How are we gonna?" And I tell you what, the 2 days before the race, nobody slept. We constructed the signs out of 1x1s and did giant builder's paper and hand painted them because we didn't have the budget to do a bunch of professional signs. And I
Right.
still have those signs because they're pretty special. And
I bet.
and I think to myself, like, I didn't realize what we were doing until it was done. And then I was like, wow, that is, and it would be, I wish we could just do a simple 5K where you just go out and run, but it has so much
No.
more power the other way.
No, my goodness. I think that the way you're doing it, wow, just it really honors our fallen soldiers. So I think that's amazing. So we're heading into year 9, right, of your race that you do in Jupiter. And then I'm assuming that you met Miss Whitney somewhere along the line.
Yep.
And so Whitney, why are you bringing it to Tampa Bay? I mean, I could imagine, but you tell me.
So I met Leette at our Gold Star Gala in December. So if you're not able to come to our Freedom 4-miler, we do have if you like amazing dresses and your husband wearing really nice tux, you definitely should come to this gala. It's amazing. It's during Christmas time. It's beautiful. There's amazing teddy bears with dog tags on them. Leette doesn't miss a beat with the intimacy details. So the dog tags
I was looking to see if I had my dog tag somewhere, but go ahead.
And then as she's talking and as we're going through, she's talking about the soldiers, and there's a silent auction, which is always nice. There was a trip to Tuscany. There's several things that were just amazing. There was lightning items. There's just beautiful, beautiful items to do in a silent auction, just like we've seen in the past, but hers was more upgraded. You could definitely tell it had more oomph. She even auctioned off Christmas trees that were completely done. So if you do not want to decorate a Christmas tree, you're more than welcome to come to the gala and bring it home.
And bring it home.
Bring it home.
Bring it home, right? I'm not carrying that bag.
Yeah, you're like, let's go.
We do delivery. We do delivery.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yep.
So the gala was where I met her, and she's sitting there and she's talking about like the soldiers, and then she's done with basically all the silent auction items, and then she turned around and then she did an auction, but it wasn't really auction. I mean, it's auction style with your pallets, I think, the little signs that we got.
Paddles. Yep.
Paddles. There it is. So we then she started telling stories of the fallen, and I will tell you, there was not a dry eye in sight. So I'm sitting there with my paddle after a couple glasses of champagne, and I just keep going. Like, I didn't buy the trip to Tuscany. I didn't buy the other stuff. I was like, oh, yep, me. And it really resonated with me, some of the intimate stories she told, just because of my past and suffering tragic loss personally myself. So after she was done with that, and after everybody at our table is pretty much hysterically crying, because of the stories she told, because we didn't realize what an impact it was just to be there and how appreciative we were just to be sitting in the presence of someone like Leette, who does such things and wonderful things for our MacDill Air Force Base and other ones in the community. And then she turns around and she stares in our direction and she goes, and we have a race in DeQuesta, but I really would like to bring it to Tampa. And so then
your paddle went back up. Let me guess.
because my husband knows that I'll take something and I'll run with it as fast as possible. And he's like, I don't know how you do it. And trust me, some days I don't know how I do it, but it's out of heart and passion. And a couple months later, I met with Iron Eagle X, and I got in touch with Liette through them because they are the large sponsor for the gala every year. Iron Eagle X is amazing. Milo and his company's absolutely a blessing to Liette and also to myself. So I got on Zoom and I said, let's start a race this year. And so by the time we kind of thought we were going through the processes, where to run, all this stuff, I told her I had a run club and everything in the area. And I told her, I understand you have it in Tequeston and Jupiter, but you need to bring it here. Like the impact you make in Tampa Bay would be huge. Like Tampa Bay proud, military proud, MacDill
Absolutely.
proud. Like the impact of our military here is so much. I mean, you're talking 75% stronger just due to the amount of people in the area. My husband's military. I'm also a law enforcement wife. I have seen tragic loss through the Pulse shooting where my husband had to be active through that. I've seen tragic loss through my husband losing 5 FBI agents in Miami, Florida, suddenly through a SWAT up. I've seen tragic loss through my personal life. So it's a lot, being military wife and Leo wife. So Liette made me hysterically cry again. And we were like, hey, let's bring this to Tampa Bay. And we kind of spearheaded this over 3 weeks, trying to figure this out. And we got our permit 48 days before the race. And we've been pounding sand ever since. We've been to MacDill. MacDill is extremely passionate about this. They have invited us on base to speak. Liette has been forever grateful for the opportunities as well, being able to talk to the top brass there, which is so important. So it shows a lot for what I call us being small right now and where we want to be. It shows a lot for MacDill to recognize us and appreciate us immediately, which is something that shows that MacDill is also so proud to be able to, their soldiers are so proud to be able to run in this race. And what really resonated with me was the backing of our community. Our community is so large. So you have Crew Blackbeard's Revenge, who is also the Buccaneers ship as well. I'm in their crew as well. They will be there with the Buccaneer Pirates that we all dress up, red, white, and blue style. And as we all know, what are we most known for in Tampa Bay? One of the largest parades in all of the United States, Gasparilla. And we are one of the most appreciated crews. And I'm so happy to be a part of them and to give back to the community in that way. But now I'm taking something that I've always given back in with Crew Blackbeard's Revenge and with Daryl Hahn and his crew, and then turning that and now bringing my crew into Liette's world, and then showing the charity work that now we can also extend an additional branch. I almost say like we're the heart and it spider webs out and then we catch all these people. But it happened very quickly. Yeah. It happened with heart. I will say it happened with grit.
Anything good doesn't happen without the grit.
So I will say we pounded the pavement. If you don't see our sign somewhere, please ask me for it. I'll bring them to your office. I'll bring them wherever you need me to. I have so many extras. I actually just had more printed. Bole's passing out signs. Bolac, though, in Riverview is. We've got so many. Tada's Kitchen. You've got Gasparilla Pizza. You have so many local establishments just putting their heart and soul into being able to be willing to share this. Talking Pint is one of our pickup locations. So I think this whole side of Tampa is also extremely passionate about it. And I said, just wait until you feel the love of Tampa.
So what kind of signs are you putting out? Because the FBI group would be happy to put if they're yard signs, put them in our yard.
Yeah, I did just get yard signs from Liette or on Monday. So I do have those if anybody wants them for their yards.
Absolutely. We will do that for you.
I have flyers for businesses as well. And then I also have flyers that pizza companies and local companies can put into their to-go boxes, Uber Eats, stuff like that. But I think Liette has fully seen the almost overwhelming love of Tampa very quickly. Yeah. I think she sees that we're pretty much going to roll over anything to get this passion with purpose out there to the community. And something that was really impactful very quickly with knowing that we were in the right direction, because I always trust God and everything that he does for us, is I'm a lightning season ticket holder, and we were able to get Sonia Brightson Kirksey to be able to sing our national anthem. She is also part of the 927th, and she is amazing, a blessing to the community, as we all know. And we're so appreciative that she's even considering to sing the national anthem for our race. So that really resonated with me right away, and it showed that we were going in the right direction,
right path.
very, very quickly. I will say I've been pounding sand until almost 9 p.m. almost every night, getting ready for this. But we hope we sell it out. And we have so many soldiers that I've spoken to that are saying, please sell out this race. And they'll tell me who their fallen are.
Well, and that was something that as we were discussing that. So when someone registers to run the race, they are assigned a fallen soldier. Am I correct?
I'm trying to see if I have one of my tags here. So each runner is going to be given a bib. And on that bib is going to be the name of one of the fallen who we serve their family. And so we always encourage people like, hey, when you're finished with your race, post a picture of yourself with that. Let people know what you did and who you did it in honor of. But if you really want to, take a moment, look up the family. Lots of times you can find an honoring page or a page in memorial of, and just post that picture and maybe message the family and just say, hey, I read about your loved one. I looked him up, or my son and I looked him up, and we saw, because that Independence Day is always been one of my favorite holidays. Like July 4th is better than Christmas and Easter wrapped into one for me. I love it. But for a lot of our families, that weekend's really, really tough because they understand the cost of independence and freedom. So the messages that they get organically, it's not from us. It's not an email from our corporate whatever. It's just, from John Smith, the runner, running for, senior airman, whomever. And it's really heartwarming. So we have that everybody gets that. Everybody gets to run in honor of somebody. However, another crazy idea we implemented that first year, and then even this year it's been made even more impactful. So before the race, we have an opening ceremony, and that includes, the Boy Scouts bringing their color guard and the singing of the national anthem, which, by far and away, Sonia Bryson Kersey, this is amazing opportunity. We've never had somebody like that to sing our national anthem. And then I talked for a few minutes about our families that we're serving, and Gold Star families do lots of times come out to our events. But before the whole race starts, we play a very emotional song, and there are 4, we call them ghost runners because I couldn't think of any better name, but I actually think it's turned out to be a cool name. So 4 gentlemen stand at the front start line, and they've got a full-sized American flag, and they have a special shirt, and on their shirt, it's got the name of the guy they're running for, and their bib has hit 1, 2, 3, 4, and their bib has whoever mile 1 is, it's his name on their bib. So they get sent off first. And there's not a dry eye in the crowd when these 4 take off, because you realize like they've gone on before us. Now you've got to, the question really becomes, what am I supposed to do with this? I've been given these opportunities because of their sacrifice. Now, what's that require of me is the idea. And so they go off and they disappear around the corner. We give them a minute or 2 to get out of the way. And then we crank up the music and crank up the energy and send everybody off screaming, say his name, say their name. Every sign, you got to say their name. And so it's a very impactful thing.
I know we have several other races in this Tampa Bay area, but I cannot. I really was going to leave town, but I don't think I'm leaving town. I think I'm going to actually come and be with my team, hand out water, because I don't think I can miss this. Honestly, like
it's something else.
Even I'm having trouble keeping my eyes dry right now, so I cannot even imagine what that day is going to be like. So
It's really emotional. It
I
That's
really is.
would say going
amazing.
up to it, we've had tears, like,
Oh yeah.
going up
Oh
to
my
it.
gosh. So it is July the 1st, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And
July
it
1st, Saturday, 8 o'clock.
okay.
Um, and
Where?
honestly, the other cool thing is we've got pancakes. We've got bole food. I mean,
Okay.
it's a really, for the price of admission, which at this point is $55, you really
Okay.
can't beat it. You get a Sport Tech t-shirt, you get a custom finisher's medal, you get the
That
race itself, which
it's not a
along the way,
big
yeah,
medal too.
it's a
Yeah.
big, it's not cheap or chintzy.
Yeah, we didn't cheap out on we are appreciative of our sponsors who've been able to get us to be able to have quality items to thank these runners for the running for these fallen soldiers.
That
Yeah.
is
So
amazing.
then on top of that, you get your pancake breakfast. Bole is bringing out food. And then one of the most fun things you'll ever see is we have a 1 mile walk for adults who are like, look, I want to be in this, but I ain't doing 4 miles. That's for that. And then we have a 1 mile kids run for 12 and under. But then what is hilarious to watch, and honestly the best 30 seconds of the whole year, is we have a tiny cadet dash.
Oh, I want to see that.
So these little kids, it's like $10, $15. They do a 100-yard dash, but they get a t-shirt, they get a medal, they get a cupcake. And then when the whole thing's done, we line up, we have 600 snowballs. So we have a
Oh,
snowball fight,
oh my gosh, how
which
cool is
is
that?
so fun. So, it's a great way for those of us who've been working hard at the race to release some energy.
I
And
love
the
it.
kids it's really cute. So,
The back of the shirts too.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
what'd
The,
you say?
the kids, the back of the shirts, they get to write on the back of the shirts.
So
Okay.
yes, so those shirts, they are so cute. They're baby blue, and on the front of it, it says, "With my freedom, I will." And then it has a line underneath. And so the kids take a Sharpie and they write, be a teacher or be a firefighter or be a veterinarian.
Oh,
And the idea is to get kids thinking early, like, you've been given an opportunity. You've got to live a life worthy of that. You've got some big boots to fill. So we just try to get that messaging all the way down for these kids, but the shirts are adorable. So it's a heck of an event. It's a big push for 2.5 hours really, and then we break the whole city down and pack it away for next year. But it is
I
an
love it.
amazing, impactful event.
I love it. What a great community to put it in. I mean, MacDill supports us. The military supports us. We support them. So I love this idea. So let me ask you just a couple more questions. We're about out of time. So one, how many people do we have registered?
So right now we're looking at about 147 are registered.
Okay. And
Um,
what's the goal?
the goal is 500.
Okay.
And I really believe, look, we're like 3 weeks out, and lots of people don't know yet what they're doing that weekend.
Okay.
Lots of people haven't been met with this incredible opportunity yet. I
Okay.
believe if they knew about it, they would choose it.
Okay.
So I think that's number one. I think that I remember the first year we held our race, and they said if you have 300 runners your first year, that's incredible. And we sold out and had 600.
Okay, we're going to do that here in Tampa Bay. You hear that? I'm putting it out there now.
I believe
We're
it.
on for that 500, and we will just lock it in, lock it out. So you've changed my plans for the holiday weekend. I
Great,
will tell you
great.
that.
That's great.
And I will
So-
echo, I've ran a lot of races in Tampa Bay. I'm a local runner. I run Riverview Runners over at the Talking Pint, Levin Run Clubs around, Bullfrog Creek Run Club, Tampa Bay Runners. I've ran a lot of races. I have an entire stash. Nothing I have ever ran has had this much emotion. And I've ran even the Skyway 10K with the Howitzer coming off at the beginning. But listening to Liette, this is one of those races where for the first time as a runner, for me, if I could do it, you take off your headset and you actually listen. So
Yes.
this
Wow.
will not need a headset at all to listen to the impact of this race. And this will be a very rare opportunity for any runner in Tampa Bay to experience.
So I love it. So here's the deal. July the 1st, Al Lopez Park, 8 a.m.
8
Registration link is going across the bottom. I put it in your chat. You can't miss it. Okay. You don't have to be military to run. right? You just have to
Right.
have a
No,
heart to want to
we
honor.
do have a discount though. So I'm going to tell you, it's all caps. MILVETLEOFR. That's for military, veteran, law enforcement, and first responders. They get $10 off.
It's on
Okay,
the
MIL
VET
VET
LEO
LEO.
FR. That covers all of our people we'd like to give $10 off to. And I will tell you, Tampa's the only place getting that discount. I don't give $5 off to nobody over here in Tequesta, because I tell them, give the money, for the love of God. It's $5, $10, and just so you know, each runner probably costs the organization about $15, just so you know, $15 to $18 to run the race. So that's $32, $35 going towards Christmas. So it takes 3 runners to pay for 1 kid at Christmas. So feel free to hit donate on top of that, and know that every dollar is going to help provide Christmas. And I will say also, on that run sign up, if you look, there's a link to our Amazon wish list. Feel free to go there and ship us gifts for kids. We have all the things kids love, the Legos, the sports equipment, all that, art supplies. So purchase some of that and send it. If you can't run, you don't want to run, you don't like to run, purchase the gifts. We need them.
volunteer.
Ask for it.
Or volunteer.
Or volunteer, right?
There is a volunteer sign up link on that link as well. We are asking for volunteers to come and experience this as well. It's
I'm going to
huge.
show you, before we get off real quick, I'm going to show you out here in our warehouse, just so you get an idea.
Oh, you get a private warehouse tour. That's kind of nice.
This is the back side of the warehouse. This is the business side. So you see all these gifts?
Yeah.
That's stuff already for Christmas this year. If this takes care of 200 kids, I'd be surprised, because we really spoil them to death. So that's what we've got already lined up for this year at Christmas. So just to give you an idea, we start, Christmas gets shipped out December 15th, December 16th, we're already taking in toys for the next year. So it takes all hands on deck. I really appreciate y'all giving us the opportunity to talk about it.
Well, let me tell you, I think that you're amazing, and God is certainly working in your life. There is no doubt about
100%.
that. And Whitney, I'm so glad that you're supporting this and that you stepped up to bring it to Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay, it's on you. Let's back this. Let's make it happen. Let's get out there, support our military family, which is our community.
Yeah.
So that's all we have today. Everything that you need to register for it, volunteer for it, you can find on the link below. And we will see you on July the 1st, Al Lopez Park, 8 a.m.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.